We are live. We are direct. She leads, she sells with Karem Zafra Vera, who is a mindset transformational coach who helps people strengthen their mind, harnessing their subconscious to create lasting change, build true wealth, not just financial abundance, but a life rich with purpose and prosperity, and step into empowerment, activated dormant cells that vibrate and help people step into their next pivot in their health, in their wealth, in their relationships, helping people to awaken their power, awaken their next level. Straight out of Florida. Karim, speak to me.
Hello, Jay. How are you? Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much for having me here. It is amazing to be here on this platform with you. Thank you so much.
Amazing. Thank you for hopping on today, Karem. It's a pleasure. Let me know, who do you serve? Who is ideal? Are they lawyers, corporate, coaches, 8 figures, 7, 6? Like, let's dig into who is absolutely ideal for you.
Yes. So who do I serve? I serve entrepreneurs. I lead a lot into the energy of the women. But I love working with men too. I initially started my business a lot, and then I got into a lot of women organizations. But really, truly, my purpose is to help that soul that is in a autopilot and ready to reach that next level, but they are aware that personal growth is an essence. Because one thing that I recognize, Jay, is I don't want to convince anybody to see the value of what personal growth is. I want them to know it's like, I value what I'm learning here. And I know that this is what's going to take me to the next level. And so for me, it's really, truly about helping that 6, 7, 8-figure individual get to their next level, because it doesn't matter what chapter we're in, there's always expansion and growth, right? So
100%.
that's what. Mm-hmm.
And that expansion and growth isn't necessarily about doing more, but
No,
potentially being more and having that shift in perspective, identity.
exactly. Yes, because we always have to grow. Like every chapter brings a new version of ourselves, right? We're always constantly evolving. And I think that people want to reach the next chapter. They want to repeat what they were doing in the previous chapter, or in the chapter that they're presently in. And we have to upgrade the identity. And I have hit that wall so many different times, which is why I know okay, it's time to shift. It's time to reintroduce yourself to the version of that person that you are becoming. And what most people think is that they're looking on the outside, how to become that person, but it all starts within ourselves. And if we can visualize it, we can see that person, then it's already within us. And that's what the majority don't see, don't recognize.
Thank you for sharing. It's a visibility game. Had a look, studying, looking at your website, flawless, beautiful website, great
Thank
content.
you.
How are you getting visible to your people?
How am I getting visible? Well, every day I am working on being better with social media, definitely. But I love speaking, and I love being part of, conferences and engagements, in that way. I do podcast interviews. I write, articles. I do different things that really truly call to my heart. Because if I allow myself to be influenced about this is what I need to do to attract these clients, then I disalign. I really just fall into the outside of expectations and the marketing and the formulas and so forth. And for me, that I definitely doesn't flow for me. So for me, everything that I do is about showing up my most authentic version, as I am helping and delivering information that makes that person stop for a moment and think about, okay, how does that impact? Why is this impacting me? Or how did this make me feel? And so it's really being able to, like this is a great opportunity being on your podcast here. And I'm so grateful for that. It's being able to attract those individuals and those opportunities into my life that allow me to get my word out to my message and to be able to impact others.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Impact is key. And I always look at, if the ladder is leaned against the wrong wall, you might climb it, you realize that you're in the wrong place
Yes.
because you climbed the wrong wall. And that's why experts like yourself, Karem, people work with you to make sure that it's aligned growth, and it's growth for the season, for a reason, for the season.
Hmm.
That'd be good.
Jay, that is so powerful that you say that because I think that there's multiple ways in climbing in reaching different chapters of our lives and elevating. And I think that sometimes we allow ourselves, for that influence. Like you say, you can climb that wall and then realize that it's the wrong wall. And I think obviously I'm so grateful for the contrast because what people don't see is that people may look at it as an error or this was the wrong wall. But really, was it the wrong wall? Because that was a contrast, an ability that you were able to see that what is really more in alignment with you and how you want to. And I've hit that wall so many times in working on how do I attract clients? And every single time that I hit that wall, it's because I have started to do something that I felt almost obligated to do instead of feeling and flowing through my original process of just showing up and serving in the different spaces that I can. Getting out of the competitive mindset. People don't realize that when you start to work on what is it that I need? What is it that I need? I need to do this. The word need comes from a space of scarcity and competition. And so when you shift the mindset into, okay, I'm here. Well, who can I serve? Where are the people that want and need this? Then we change that energy and that frequency, those vibrations, and we attract the people into our lives.
Amazing.
Obviously, there's work to do with that.
Mhm.
But the general perspective is that, right? The foundation.
Yeah. Foundations are key. It's good to have the foundations um to act as a springboard. We know that unless someone pays us, we can't grow our vision. We don't have a business without sales. What does sales mean to you, and what does your sales process look like to enroll clients?
So sales for me means that I'm expanding because I'm serving a soul at a time, or expanding in the sense of I'm actually reaching people. I am creating an influence, having an impact. I am giving a sense of freedom and a freedom to others because they're changing the perspective of how they see themselves. Because in order for us to grow is because we've healed something, right? We've become aware of something, and every sense of awareness creates a level of space for something abundant to come through. So when I look at sales, I look at, okay, what is the purpose I'm serving, and who am I serving, and how do I want to serve, and what is the impact I want to do? As far as the process, I mean, it's really simple. I'm not complicated in the sense of like we have to go through this. I offer discovery calls, clarity calls, basically is what I call it. Clarity calls so that the person can feel my vibration and my energy and get to know who or get to a connection where they feel comfortable talking to me, being able to deepen their thoughts with me. And in that process, just about every program that I offer is custom to what that individual is in need of. And all the programs or any type of program that I provide comes with an ability that with the skills and foundations that everybody need everybody needs to have in order to have that expansion, but customized to what it is for them. So it's more of like a boutique type of, coaching. It's very personal, and I'm very available for each and every client.
Okay. And what are you doing? Workshops? Like, what are some of the methodologies apart from discovery calls? Do you do some speaking
Yes.
offline? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I speak offline. I do workshops. I've done conference. I go to businesses, and I also do their maybe monthly educational side. I love working with HR to help with teams and expansion. So there's different areas that I go into. The clarity call is just like your basic, like, someone from out there that doesn't know, or just wants to have a conversation, then we can have that type of conversation. But the majority of the times, I get referrals. I do a lot of referrals, and those referrals already comes with a sense of a blessing, right? Because they're trusting the person being referred to. Um, and so, yeah, I mean, it's different areas in different ways, but um, like I said, speaking engagements, educational boards, you know, wherever basically I'm like being called to. I don't have anything specific per se, but I've tapped into many different platforms to be able to spread the message.
Okay. Makes sense. What's the big plan for 2026? I know we're midway through February now, but yeah, what's the big plan for 2026?
So the big plan for 2026, one of the ways that I am serving and getting myself out there as well is that I joined I have my own show basically. I have the Power Code, which is it's streaming now on Apple TV, in different platforms, and it's all about mindset work. And so each week a new episode shows up. So for me, 2026 is really about the expansion and where that power code um, show can really reach, and how many people it can reach as I expand and continue to expand my clientele, and working with, 7 and 8 figure entrepreneurs to help them expand, to help them get to that next level, and to have clarity, because a lot of the reasons why people feel stuck is because they're so much into not into what they have to do instead of where they want to go. And when we don't have clarity of where we want to go, if we don't have the purpose, if we don't have, a sense of direction, then we get stuck in the space of like, what is it that I need? And so it's really about that.
That makes sense. In terms of connecting with 7 figure and 8 figure um clients, how do you connect with people um who are successful financially? Like, how do you find the ways to connect with those people?
So getting in rooms, really getting into those corporate rooms, dealing with a lot of the you know women that getting into the rooms with those corporates and just having conversation, investing in luncheons, investing or reaching out to companies that are in alignment with my foundation, and being able to provide them with a source of a conversation or an offer or something that they can that I can tap in and get them to have the experience of what it is to be in my conference or in my events or in my workshops, and being able to offer those things. So really that's how I get in there.
Would you say that your main platform is LinkedIn or Facebook in terms of attracting your people?
I think it's so funny that you asked that, because I've been doing some research and like almost revisiting the perspective of the clients that I am reaching out to. And so it seems that Instagram is a little bit more of my connection. And then the next one would be LinkedIn.
Okay, why LinkedIn? Why Instagram as where your target market is? Yeah.
Um,
What makes yeah.
well, Instagram, there's just a little bit more of connection, and there's more of reaction to what I post. LinkedIn is next. But LinkedIn, here's what happened with my LinkedIn is that my account had frozen, or I don't know, they closed it. So I had to start from LinkedIn all over again. And so the following that I've had for years on LinkedIn disappeared, and I needed to start everything from scratch again. So for me, LinkedIn is like rebuilding it, you know. Um, and again, LinkedIn, I really look forward to LinkedIn connections with LinkedIn, but there's a lot of just so much people just reaching out just because they want to sell, you know? And that's so disconnected with me. So for me, it's more of like, okay, putting a message, getting on LinkedIn, connecting with people, and really seeing where they're coming from for me to connect and go further with that.
Okay. No, I like that connection, relational type marketing. I think it's much more valuable this day and age, uh,
Yes.
where people are wanting to automate everything. They want to automate connection, and you cannot automate connection.
No, no,
There's
no.
got to be
And
something that
and that's the thing. I think with LinkedIn, the moment that you not accept, but that you connect with someone, they have their instant messages. And it's like, for me, that is total disconnection. Um, One thing is to connect with somebody and say, hey, like, like, I love the way you did that. You did that with me. You connected very personal, where it's so strange. And I love that because that stands out, versus the autopilot actions that people have, all of those little funnels that they take the person through. It's like, that is just not my game. That's not my cup of tea.
amazing. Last question from me. Currently digging into this, the classic. I'm not sure. Have you read this one?
No, I
10
have not.
Yeah. So the premise of this book is if you set a goal that's 10 times what it could be normally, there's fewer paths. So it's saying that 10x impossible goals are easier to achieve than mediocre goals, because mediocre goals, you can do them 100 ways, but really big goals, you can do them 4 ways. So you have to be quite precise. What are you reading right now? And yeah, what are you taking from it?
So, on base of that book, I totally agree that when you do a 10x goal, it is so much easier. And I'll tell you why that is. Because the person that is trying to do a mediocre goal, or something that is what they think they can do, then they're trying to be in control of how that is going to happen and when it's going to happen. Versus the 10x goal, you have to tap into visualization. You have to tap into letting go of the control and working from inspiration. And so when there is that work, then you are working from the top of the mountain looking down, versus from the bottom of the mountain looking up and trying to have control of how to get to that point. And I think people don't realize that when we work from the goal itself, we're working from inspiration and minds that are connected in that frequency, in that vibration. And that's how we attract people, opportunity, and circumstances into our lives. So I totally agree. I will read the book now that you've mentioned it to me. What am I reading right now? I have a morning study group,
Good.
and I love my morning study group. It is how we start our day, studying in gratitude. And right now we are studying the Ho'oponopono process by Dr. Joe Vitale. And so that is one of the books right now that we are studying. And then, but I have multiple books that I read in different, depending on what I'm looking at. We just finished reading what was it? We just finished reading Working with the Laws with one of my favorite, it's one of my fundamental books by Raymond Hollowell. And but yeah, right now I am reading The Zero Limit, and I have it right here. The Zero Limit by Dr. Joe Vitale and Dr. Hugh Len. And it is life-changing. It's so interesting. Book comes into our lives exactly when they're meant to come, fitting the purpose they're meant to fit. And so it is a very, very powerful book. I invite people to come and join the morning study call. It is one of my favorite, really one of my favorite services that I provide. To be and stay consistently in not only goal achieving, focus, but now doing the cleansings so that we can cleanse the programming that we have that limits us. So, yeah.
Amazing. No, thanks for sharing that. Let them know how they can get in contact with you and who precisely are you looking to connect with.
So, my website, karemzafravera.com, or you could always find me through Mindful with Karem. And my email is mindfulwithkarem@gmail.com. And who am I looking for? I am looking to help high functioning humans to stop living in their autopilot and consciously choose who they are becoming, to really truly tap into their next level. So for those that feel called, they feel called, because I think we all feel called at certain levels. We know it. And so my suggestion is always listen to that intuition, listen to that inner voice and follow it, because it is always divinely guiding you.
Thank you so much for your time. Muchas gracias.
You're very welcome. De nada.
Loving what you're bringing to the table. Amazing dress as well. Love that black dress. You know, power dress for on Friday morning. Friday morning meetings. Love it. She leads, she sells. London, Florida with love. Thank you so much, Karem. God bless. God bless the United States of America.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you so much. And I am just in gratitude for having this conversation with you.
De nada. That's it, Karem.